here we are, you know, a day and a half left, and that tractor is now useless to me until I get it fixed, and I don't have time to get it fixed, and it's all because of some completely unnecessary bullshit emission system that the government in their infinite wisdom tells me I gotta have on that diesel engine. I'm pissed off right now. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday morning. It's going to be our first day out here in several days with just a skeleton crew. All the guys that have helped us out so far, Dylan and Robert Joyce, and then Alex and Jesse Lampley. You know, they got other stuff they got to do. So we're kind of out here with a skeleton crew today, with Kelly being injured and not hardly able to operate any equipment. You know, Kelly and I are about the only ones that can operate the semi-truck. Nate doesn't have too much experience with a standard shift, plus he's not 21 years old. Carter's actually got more experience with a standard shift and could probably manage, but at 14 years old, there's no way I'm putting him on the road hauling 60,000 pounds. Plan is I'm gonna have to do the hauling. I'm probably going to try Carter out here on the combine cutting beans once I get the first load cut, to where he can cut while I'm hauling, and then I'll get back on the combine until another load is cut. He has cut soybeans before, but they've been full season soybeans at a nice big flat bottom, and I told him to go a certain speed, and he did a great job. Well, if you've ever cut double crop soybeans in November on a very rolling terrain with terraces and everything else, as you can imagine, that's going to be a different story. A lot more things you got to watch for, and I know he's capable of doing it, and I'm not worried about him going too slow and not getting the ground covered. What I'm worried about is him being overconfident and pushing this hydro all the way forward and either tearing something up or plugging the machine up, and then in that case, well, I've actually lost time by actually having him run the combine. Won't never know his capabilities until you give him a try, so I'll give him a chance to do it right, and if he doesn't do it right, well, then the combine's just going to be parked while I haul grain. I think he'll be fine as long as he doesn't get a head full of steam and decide to test the maximum capacity of this combine. You know, a lot of things you got to watch for, because you're pulling in extra material from the wheat straw that's down there too. Plus, you really got to watch the cutter bar both sides real good, making sure you're not pushing up any piles, because if you push up a big pile and that reel grabs it and throws it in the header, I mean, you can plug the feeder up, you can plug the rotor up, break a chain. I mean, a lot of bad things can happen if you build up too big of a pile without catching it. You know, as I go through the field, I'm having to constantly adjust the header, the tilt on the header, depending on how the beans are lying down. Like right now, they're laying down almost flat on the ground that way, so you got to work your reel in and out, got to adjust the tilt to make sure you're not leaving any beans. And of course, when you get around terraces, you got to cut them a certain way so you don't leave a bunch of beans in the ground. You know, just a lot of things you really got to pay for and be in tune with the machine in order to do a good job. But the only way you're going to learn that stuff is with experience, and he's got to get experience sometime. And even though I believe Nate would try to do a good job, he's never driven a combine before in his life, and trying and getting your first experience cutting double crop beans in rolling terrain in November when straw's damp is not the time to do it. Freaking great, just great. Not what we needed right now. You know what that is? What that warning is? That is a government mandated emission system, the DEF system on that tractor. Is it needed to farm or run equipment or anything else, no, it's not needed to do that kind of stuff. That tractor is perfectly fine, except for the diesel exhaust system, the emission system. Something has gone bad on it. I don't know if it's a sensor, pump, or whatever. But anyway, after running that tractor about 10-15 minutes with it like that, you know what's going to happen? That tractor is going to derate, and then you literally can't even move it because of the freaking emission system. Here we are, you know, a day and a half left, and that tractor is now useless to me until I get it fixed, and I don't have time to get it fixed, and it's all because of some completely unnecessary bullshit emission system that the government in their infinite wisdom tells me I gotta have on that diesel engine. I would say that I'm just going to get somebody out here to delete it off of there, because that is possible, but you know what, that's highly illegal, and I can't say that on social media, otherwise the EPA might come knocking on my door. So what we're going to have to do is hope that the tractor runs long enough to get this unloaded, and then we're going to have to swap it out with the other tractor we got that's hooked to the drill, but that's going to take time I ain't got right now. I'm pissed off right now. All right, Nate, get up there and get unloaded as quickly as you can before that engine derates itself, and then I've got to reset it with the computer. Just add that to the list of the other 100 million things I've got to do. Something else to fix, and it's completely unnecessary.
It won't go over 4 miles an hour.
Right, it's already in the first stage of derate. Another few minutes, it'll just completely, it won't be able to go above an idle. Because it won't do that even after I reset it. I mean, I can't even drive it back to the shop. I want to fix it out here in the freaking field. Boy, he's really slowed down. I don't even know if he'll be able to make it up this hill or not. Well, luckily he made it up the hill, but that is as fast as that tractor will go. And it's about to come to a complete standstill. Well, he turned the PTO on and tried to start unloading beans, and it derated enough that it killed the engine. So now Kelly's going back to the house to get my laptop and adapter so I can hook into the tractor and reset it. Hopefully keep it running long enough to at least get the grain buggy unloaded to where we can then jack it up and swap out tractors. So somebody please tell me how that's fighting global warming when now a tech's got to drive down from Union City to fix it, because I don't have time to fix it, burning gas that way. And oh, let's not, don't forget about all the plastic 2.5 gallon jugs or 55 gallon drums or 255 gallon totes, all the plastic that goes into making those containers that carry the DEF fluid. I mean, really, how's that helping the environment? I'm all about protecting the environment and everything else, but come on, I mean, we need smart solutions, not crap like this. I'll just top it off. My header just broke. That bar right there. See the one wiggling around? Freaking great. Now you see this right here? It's supposed to be attached to this, but it's not. That looks pretty dang flimsy right there. There's some days I just really question my choice of careers. Today's one of them. All right, Kelly just dropped off my laptop. I called H&R. Luckily, Brownsville has that part I need. Surprise, surprise. So Kelly gonna run to Brownsville, get that part. Well, I'll see if I can get the codes cleared out of this tractor long enough to run it. Take a picture of those so we can send them to the tech so he knows what parts to get. Alright, we've cleared the fault codes. Let everything power down and start it back up. Probably have to reset the engine controller too. Alright, let me see if I can figure out how to reset the engine controller. I haven't done that before. Says many dosing system failure repairs can only be validated by the electronics when the machine is operating at full power. If the machine is used to 3 restarts, then the service tool must be used to reset the restart counter. Resetting the counter will allow the machine to be restarted at full power 3 more times. Reset complete. Because the code's still active, it'll only do it at an idle, but it is unloaded without killing the tractor. Alright, we got train buggy unloaded the truck, so we can at least back it up and all that. Train Carter got back with the other tractor. We're going to try and swap them out real quick. Alright, we got the tractor unhooked. Kids are hooking the tractor back up there to it. All right, what we got broke here is this rubber bushing goes in there, but the holder that's broke. There's a new one right there. Luckily, H&R AgriPower, being a great dealer, had that part in stock. Kind of surprised me. I didn't expect that to be like a common wear item, but they had it in stock. And anyway, it goes here, connects to here. And what this controls the wing balance of the header, and if it's broke, neither side wants to float up or down or be supported or work right. So it's kind of necessary to cut beans. So anyway, once I got it broke loose, pretty easy to pull out. Hopefully it'll be even easier going back in. And it's just as well that it broke anyway, because this rubber bushing was completely gone here on the bottom side. So it needed to be replaced. Anyway, I'm gonna count the threads on this one so we can put our jam nut back in the right position, so we know exactly how far it's supposed to be screwed down into, so we don't mess up the wing balance. 5.5 threads showing. Oh, and going back to the DEF situation, I didn't tell you what the code was. There's a problem with the DEF system, but not with the actual operation of the DEF system. There was a problem with the sensor that shows the level of DEF in the tank. You know, basically the fuel gauge for DEF. That's what went wrong. That's what caused the engine to derate and the tractor to be completely useless. Not anything happened. I mean, the exhaust system was still working fine, still wasn't polluting the air, but the computer didn't know what level of DEF was in the tank, so it decided to derate itself. Who thinks of this stuff? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Screwed up half thread. There we go. Now screw it down to the jam nut on our rod and put the bolt back through. Then maybe this bolt will be good for, I don't know, another 15,000 acres or so, depending on, I don't know how many acres this has been over. Been over quite a few since I've had it. Probably, heck, since I've had it, it's probably been over probably close to 5,000 acres myself. All right, I think I need to raise the header up a little bit to get clearance on that. Alright, yeah. Well, at least it wound up being a simple fix, even if it did take an hour round trip to go get the part.
So, you know, there are farms out there that have the actual farmers that legit ride around in their, you know, fancy trucks and semi-fancy cars, and they just watch everybody work. That's kind of how I feel right now. I don't like it. It doesn't sit with me well. I just came out here to give Matt a lunch after helping everybody move over to this side of the farm. So this past Thursday was November 10th. I went back to the doctor for a checkup on my fingers. He said, unfortunately, they are still very broken, still very lacerated. I'm still bleeding every single day, so I have to wear they are finger casts. They're molded to my fingers, and I have to take them off twice a day, put them in Epsom salt and clean them, put new dressing back on them, and then back to wrapping them up again. The doctor had strict instructions for the next 3 weeks. I cannot use my hand at all. If I try using my hand will let me know what's up. I can tell you that having lacerations and cutting them and breaking them is the worst pain I've ever been through. And I've been through a lot. It just absolutely debilitates you. And it comes and it goes. Sometimes it gets angry at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes it gets angry at 8 o'clock at night or 2 a.m. Absolutely stops you in your tracks. Can't even describe the feeling, but it's absolutely awful. You just want to pull your hair out and you want to scream and cry, and it's pain you can't stop. There's no medicine for it. You can take Tylenol, ibuprofen. They did put me on a nerve pain killer that I take at night. It doesn't touch it. I even tried, I literally drank the bottle of tequila last night. Still had pain. So I highly recommend don't catching your fingers in a lever of a module builder. I think I would have rather have just broken my arm at this rate. So there's that. I go back December 2nd. They will re-x-ray my fingers. They will see if the lacerations have healed along with the tendons and the skin. If it has, then they will put me in a permanent cast for the next 4 weeks, which means Christmas. I will not have use of my hand until the new year. So for the next 3 weeks, I have to be very careful to do what the doctor tells me. But the doctor doesn't understand that we have a farm and I have to work. I don't know what to do. My job is driving the semi-truck, and we can get help here and there, but people still have to run their own farms and people are still behind, and I'm gonna have to learn how to drive with one arm. I'm probably just gonna have to suck it up and do it. So that's the update on that. I'm just hoping they heal. I hate this long process. It is what it is.
And Kelly said, "You really gonna let him drive that?" Yeah, I am. You know why? Because he can get the job done. Alright, I know you cut soybeans before. These are going to be a little bit different than wheat beans. You see this A, B, C, D indicator right there? That's the tilt of the cutter bar. If you're on D, it's shaping the ground. If you got it on A, it's tilted all the way back and it's going to cut about this high off the ground. Now when you get in wet conditions, that can help you out. Or you see out here on the end of the reel, you see those numbers right there? That's how far forward you got your reel. If the beans are laying down on the ground and away from you, you need to run your reel out farther to help pick them back up and pull them in the header. If they're standing straight back up, you know, the reel's not going to be near as important, but where the beans are laying down, use that as a tool to help pull the beans into the header. If not, the header's just going to like skim over the top of them and it's going to be left on the ground and it's going to be lost again. And I don't want you going any faster than about 4 miles an hour. The combine's got more power to do that, but I want you to take it nice and slow and watch the cutter bar for any piles. Like I said, we pull a pile into the combine, if it's big enough, you're going to choke the feeder up, you might choke the rotor up, and alright, you think you got this? Alright. Alright, please pray everything goes smoothly. I don't have a choked up combine to come back to. on. Back to the field. Come on, baby. I know you're a little soft. It's always fun pulling out on these really narrow roads. Alright, what happened?
Turn it on.
I'm not going to turn it on because I turned it on. I'm going to. Did it stop the drum up? Did it stop the rotor up?
It just whines.
Did you try doing this reverser right here, the feeder reverser? Did you try that? Huh?
No.
Alright, to do that, raise your reel all the way up, tilt your cutter bar all the way forward, and then the feeder, pick it up and pull it in reverse. Are you watching?
Yes, I'm watching.
Kick all that out. Alright, that's about everything in the feeder. Alright, let's see if the rotor's going to start up. So go to your settings page here. Watch rotor speed. Alright, good. The rotor's turning. That means the rotor's not stopped up. Alright. Now we'll go ahead and gauge the feeder. Alright, so it pulled a little bit through. Now we'll let the header down and we'll use the reel to feed a little bit of it in there at a time. Too much.
This is why I don't do beans.
You gotta learn somehow. It ain't as fun or as easy as wheat and corn, but it's still gotta be cut. That's why I told you, watch that cutter bar and make sure, you know, catch the piles when they're small rather than big like that. How far did you get? Did you make it all the way around?
And then I'm halfway back.
Okay. Alright, everything's good to go. And that's why I was hesitant to put him on the combine cutting double crop beans for that exact reason. But hopefully he learned a valuable lesson. Done got tore up. Didn't really gain any time, but didn't really lose any time either. I swear, these kids in wanting to lay that seat back like a freaking thug. Both Carter and Nate do it. I don't understand it. Oh well, we'll see if he does better next time. We'll get the next truck loaded. But getting done with this farm today might be a little optimistic. has been an absolutely spectacular crappy day, so trying to make up for lost time, pushing this hydro about as far forward as it'll want to go. If the combine chokes up, it just chokes up. I mean, what does it matter if another thing stops up today? Yeah, not only did Carter choke the combine up, I choked the elevator up whenever I was unloading that load of beans, so might as well make it a perfect trifecta today. Want to try and get everything we can done before this straw gets damp again, because you see that cloud bank coming in? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that would be more rain. So I'm going to use every bit of power this thing got. Tear it up. I'm going to have all day tomorrow to fix it. Why am I going to have all day to fix it tomorrow? Because we got more rain coming in. But in all seriousness, yes, I'm pushing it while the straw is dry, because it's going to be dusk soon, and I don't know if that cloud bank's going to get here soon enough to keep the dew from falling. So I was wanting to get this farm done I was wanting to get a lot farther than this farm today, but now my goal is just to get the farm done, and I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I don't know, maybe the clouds come on in and I've got enough time to go dump a load, and then I figured that'd be enough to get the rest of this farm done if we got another empty truck. But I don't know. I got harvest brain. I can't think, I can't calculate, I cannot compute. Like literally every hour longer that I stay awake, I can feel my IQ dropping by about 10 points. I'm probably not too far from caveman status. Oh, and to put the icing on top of the cake, we had, right before that cloud bank came in, we were having a spectacular sunset. So I put my camera out there on the edge of the header trying to get a real nice slow motion shot. And my camera is so cold from being in the cab all day that it instantly drained the battery trying to record at either 60 or 240 frames per second. It just killed it. It had enough juice to record at 30 frames per second, but it was too cold to record at 60 or 120 frames per second. That's how cold it is here in the cab. So I got a decent shot. I didn't get the shot I really wanted though. You smell something burning?
Yes.
Well, let's find it.